Hey YouTube, it's Chris and I'm back with yet another video, and today I'm going to be going over how to pick the best hosting company for your website. Now I know this doesn't apply for a lot of people, but for those of you that own your own business online, or you have a blog or whatever, you do stuff online, you need your own website, you're going to want to know what hosting company you should go with. Now, some of the big ones I'm going to just kind of briefly compare in this video is Bluehost, InMotion hosting, and GoDaddy. GoDaddy is known for providing really inexpensive websites and or web domains, and there's a difference between web domains and hosting. A domain is simply the name of a website. A hosting company is the place you will actually host your website. Okay, they're the ones that actually power the email, power all the data that's being sent, and all of that. The domain name is just simply the name, and that's it. So the whole functionality of the website is actually coming through the host. So anyway, so there are 5 things that I typically look for when I'm shopping for a hosting company. Now, I've been with InMotion hosting for like 10 years, and they're okay. A lot of people say that they're very expensive. They are, but I'm like, I've been with them for so long, it's pretty comparable to what's out there now. But I will say that they're not without their pitfalls, and it's not a company I will recommend today. So let's just get into the 5 things. The first thing you want is speed, and this is something that I started having problems with InMotion hosting. You want your website to be fast. If it's not fast and it loads slow, it doesn't look professional. You're not going to go to Google or Home Depot or Macy's or whatever and their site runs slow. You need something that can keep up with high traffic. And if you don't have high traffic, there's just one person on your website, there's no reason for it to be slow. So you want to have speed. The other thing you want to have is uptime. You want to look at uptime. And honestly, if you're going with one of the big companies, you don't really need to worry about this. But uptime is just basically the uptime of the server. Back in the day, you would have websites that for whatever reason, we used to get those error 404s sometimes when you go to websites, just because for whatever reason, it could be there was too many people on it, whatever. And we don't typically see that nowadays, and unless you're with a really, really crappy host. So that's basically what uptime is. You want to make sure the site, but back in the day, you have to, and not say back in the day, I mean like 5 years ago, they would all have this 99% guarantee uptime. You don't see that anymore, because that's pretty standard now. No one really suffers from that. The next thing you want to look for is free SSL. So SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer, and SSL is basically, let's see if I can click this and it'll give me the full URL. So look up here where, in the URL box, you see it says HTTPS and it has a lock. I'm going to actually go to one of my websites right here, and you'll be able to see the same thing. You see I have this lock here, and that tells you that I have a SSL certificate. So the reason why SSL is important, what it does is basically encrypt the information that's transmitted through the website. So if you are selling products on your website and people are using their credit card information, it's not going to be exposed to the whole world. It's going to be encrypted. And a lot of times when you're trying to get accounts with payment processors, they want to see that you have an SSL certificate in order to even be approved, because they don't want to deal with people's information being stolen. So a lot of companies offer that for free now. And once upon a time, that used to be a very expensive thing, and most people, unless you were making good money, most people didn't get it. But now that stuff is free. So you want to look for a free SSL. And while I'm talking about it, I'm going to just say some things about InMotion. I was with InMotion around the time where these things started becoming free, and it was never implemented properly on my websites. I mean, they have free SSL, and maybe if you're new and you're getting into it, you see right here, manage free basic SSL, and then you can actually purchase a dedicated SSL certificate. For most things you're doing, the free one is perfectly fine. But it was never implemented on my website well, and even though I had it, a lot of other third party like payment processors wouldn't approve it. So I don't recommend InMotion hosting for that reason as well. Again, like I said, some people might have problems, but it was always a problem for me. The next thing we're going to get into is price. You don't want to pay a whole lot for hosting. You could generally get pretty good hosting for less than $70 a year. Now that is a promotional price, and it's usually good for a year. Like with Bluehost, I think I pay 60. It's like $58 for the year or something like that. And then after that, I think it's going to go to, let's see. Let me pull this up. A different. I had the prices up right here. Okay, I'm not logged in on this one. So it's normally $10.99 a month, and with InMotion hosting, it's $9.99. But we'll get into some of the differences once I finish going through this list. But you want to look for price. I would say that around between $10 to $12 a month is actually going to be competitive for a good company, so expect to pay that. If you can get it lower than that, that's good. But you want to, we're going to get into a look at what they offer. You see here, free domain, 6 websites, blah blah. That is very important because you don't want to be paying $10 a month for something and it's really, it's nonsense. It's not really giving you any real features. So the last thing I want to talk about is features, but I'm going to be more specific and say domain extensions, because this has been a thorn in my side with InMotion hosting. And I'm not dogging InMotion hosting. They have great support, and for a long time they serviced me well, but I just tried Bluehost a few months ago, and I mean, I'm not renewing InMotion. I'm just not. I actually told them that before, and they actually gave me another discount, which again, like I said, their customer service is very, very good. And if you threaten to leave them, especially if you've been with them for a while, they'll probably give you a discount. They actually gave me a 50% discount, so I just stayed with them for a little bit longer. And I thought it would be good to have both, compare side by side. But Bluehost, I don't want to say it doesn't smoke InMotion hosting, but it is better. So let's take a look at this right here. So I have the power plan with InMotion hosting, and you get 6 websites. Okay, so, and it's funny, I actually think mine. Okay, you get 6 websites, and that comes as 1 main and then 5 add-on websites. If you want to have unlimited websites, it's $15.99 or this little promo price of $14.71 per month. And what that basically means is you can come up with as many websites as you want, and they'll all fall under that plan. Now, me, at first, I was thinking 6 websites is plenty. But as time went on, I ended up making more and more websites. I probably have about 9 websites, and, I outgrew this. But what I ended up having to do is just trim back some of the other websites that I might have built that I would reinstate later on. And I just had to, cut them out and just save all the files for another time. But with Bluehost, I have their Plus package, and you see, boom, unlimited websites. And this is normally $10.99, where this is $9.99. I'm going to tell you right now, that extra dollar is worth having unlimited websites. So we look at the storage is unlimited storage. I believe InMotion is unlimited storage as well. And I did have GoDaddy up. I'm not going to compare GoDaddy right now, but I'm going to use them when I talk about the domains. Unmetered bandwidth, free SSL. You saw that over here. It was free SSL, unlimited email, and unlimited parked, unlimited domains, unlimited subdomains. Now again, this over here, InMotion doesn't have all that. So I'm telling you, pay that extra dollar. It will come in. It will come in handy. The other thing I want to talk about, now look here. If you look here at Bluehost, it says one Office 365 mailbox free for 30 days. You notice it does not say anything about email. And this can be very, very confusing to a lot of people. You get email for free, okay? You just have to set up. Over here, I'm going to go into my back office. You see email and Office, and if I go to manage, you see it's basic email, and it syncs perfectly with like Mail. I don't use Office 365. I just use Microsoft Mail. And you see, I have unlimited emails. I have unlimited amount of storage. I can make as many accounts as I want. So that's an important thing to note because for whatever reason, Bluehost, they must get a kickback for selling Office 365 or something, because that was something that I was concerned about when I first signed up. I'm like, wait a minute. Why are they trying to make me do, pay for an email address and that was normally free? Whenever you buy or purchase a domain, in my experience, and again, I've never dealt with like a bootleg hosting provider. In my experience, you always get the email for free. You have to maybe set it up a little bit, but it literally is a couple of clicks and it's not hard at all. So I wanted to show something else about pricing, and I want to talk about domain extensions. So with InMotion hosting, everyone has a website these days, and .coms we're running out of space with the .coms. Okay, so one cool hack is to do a .co, and co stands for commercial. So when you have a .com, that means you are probably selling a product. You're a for-profit company. .orgs are usually .org, short for organization, usually nonprofit, and .gov, etc., edu, education. You guys get where I'm going with this. But there's a whole lot of new extensions that you can do now. Like you see, I have gestational diabetes .online, and you could just make up all types of stuff to get the web name that you want. And these days, people don't really like look at this anyway. They do a Google search and they just click. But InMotion hosting does not allow, and I'm gonna see if I can. Let's try to register a domain so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. InMotion hosting doesn't allow you to do anything other than the traditional, right here, the traditional extensions, .com, net, org, biz, info, us. That's it. You can't do .co. What I used to have to do is go to GoDaddy, purchase it at GoDaddy, and then point the servers over to InMotion, which it is an extra step to load your site, and it makes it even slower, and then it's an extra account you got to deal with. I don't like that. That was a real thorn in my side. Thankfully, though, Bluehost allows you to do all that in one spot. Now, I wanted to show you guys something comparing GoDaddy to Bluehost, because at first glance, GoDaddy looks a lot cheaper. So let's act like we're going to create a new domain. Let's go to domain here, and we're going to just GoDaddy is fine. So we're going to let's start at GoDaddy. Let's say we're going to do, I like that, poophead.co. All right. Poophead.co is available for $11.99. I should have did, no, not poophead.com, because I wanted to show that you have these extensions. So let's go back to Bluehost. Just simply add a domain. And let's see, poophead.co. All right, so you see poophead.co right here is $12.99, right? Okay, so that looks cheaper than GoDaddy, but there's some little nuances you got to pay attention to here. So let's go ahead and add this to cart. Let's go ahead and add this to cart. And go to next. Now let's go to continue to cart. All right, so we're here, and right before we check out, it's saying, hey, you want to have some privacy. But you see, there's two different versions. There's privacy protection, and then there's ultimate protection and security. We go over here to Bluehost. You see they've done the same thing. Added domain privacy. So what is domain privacy? That was right here. It tells you what is domain privacy. Basically, domain privacy keeps all of your information private from people who just want to look up the owners of the website. So you can go to it's called Whois. You can go to that website and you can type in a domain name and it'll tell you all the information of who owns the website, their address, their phone number, all of that, and you can end up with all type of spam and stalkers and all that stuff. So you definitely want domain privacy. What we see over here at Bluehost, they're only offering one form of privacy, and that's it, and it's $11.88 per year. And it's like, oh man, I can get that domain name for $11.99 plus the privacy for $9.99. Well, let's look at the details. Let's just start over here with Bluehost. We click this here, and it tells you right here that prevent identity theft, spam, and phishing attacks by masking your personal information. You also get SMS alerts when your domain's lock status, DNS setup, contact information, or domain privacy settings change. In addition, our malware scanner will regularly check your site as an extra defense against attacks. Okay, so it just hides your stuff and you get malware scanner. So for the basic over here, it just says hide your information, prevents spam, helps stop domain hijacking, and helps protect against stalkers and harassers. These are really not saying anything, it just helps, but it's just telling you what it does. And let's go to ultimate. Privacy hide your personal information, basically the same thing. Domain ownership protection prevents accidental domain expiration or malicious transfer. Okay, it's the same thing. And protect your domain with automatic malware scan. Boom, there it is, malware scans right here. That's what we're looking for. So if you want comparable privacy protection as Bluehost, you're going to pay $15 over here. So $12 plus $15 is $27 per year. Over here, you got $11.88 plus what was it? $12.99. 13 plus $11.88 is $24.88. So Bluehost ends up being cheaper. The last thing I want to talk about is user interface. I know I said 5, but this is kind of like a bonus. User interface. I just want to show you guys what the home page looks like on Bluehost and how it looks on InMotion hosting. I might have to log back in. Okay, no. So this is the home page. Once you sign into InMotion, this is what you're greeted with. For someone that doesn't know what they're doing, this can be very overwhelming. What you really need to do is go to cPanel, at least that's what I do. And I control everything from cPanel, but this can be overwhelming. When you go to Bluehost, the user experience is a lot better. Home is just giving you, information. You set up your site. I skipped all this stuff. You have my sites, boom, it just shows you where your websites are, marketplace. I guess this is where you find apps and stuff. I've been building websites for a while, so I don't really engage in those things. Your email shows you that earlier. Domains, we just did that. And if you do want the complicated stuff, you can click advanced and it'll take you to cPanel. Boom, back here. Now you see it looks a lot like InMotion hosting, but I think the colors also in the how big the thumbnails or the icons are and the spacing makes it look less intimidating than InMotion hosting. And so I just wanted to say that too, that it's not as, you can't navigate through it as easy. I know when I first started, this used to confuse the heck out of me, and I used to have to hit their chat. Again, fantastic customer service, but they used to have to walk me through some things sometimes. So anyway, that's pretty much it, you guys. If you're looking for a hosting service, I would recommend Bluehost. Like I said, you can grow with them. You have unlimited emails, you have unlimited websites, and it's just easier to navigate, which will allow you to work on your websites and put them up faster. My websites run faster on here than they do InMotion, and they have free SSL, which I've never had any problems with. It's been installed, without me even seeing anything. And yeah, so I definitely recommend this. So if you like this video, I appreciate if you liked it. Comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys next video.